Yu-Gi-Oh! From A to Z. Can it be done? Why, yes, of course it can. We've already done it 4 times, so let's make it 5 with E. And it's Exosister time. The Exosisters are a band of Christian lesbian sisters. Listen, I don't know. Don't ask me what exactly they're doing. They're balling though, so they're cool. These girls don't want you touching the graveyard, and if you even think about moving someone out of there, they will exceed someone all over you and punish like crazy. If they go against a deck that isn't using the grave like that though, they might be in a bit of trouble. Let's see a quick overview of the deck. First up, we've got 3 of probably the best main deck Exosister monster, Exosister Martha. If we control no monsters, or only Exes monsters, we can special summon her from our hand, and when we do so, special summon an Ellis from our deck. Also, we lock ourselves into Exosister monsters, but there ain't much else in the deck. Then, this card comes with the clause that if a card moves out of either graveyard, we can special summon from our X deck 1 Exosister Exes monster, using this card as material, and every other Exosister monster we have in the main deck comes with this same clause, so do not move out of the graveyard, or we will Exes summon all over you, like I already said. Next up, we have 3 Exosister Ellis. If we control an Exosister monster, we can special summon her from our hand. Then, if we control her sister, Stella, we gain 800 life points, and she comes with the same Exes summon clause if someone moves something out of their graveyard. We have 3 Exosister Stella, the sister of Ellis, and during our main phase, we can activate her effect to special summon 1 Exosister monster from our hand. Then if we control an Ellis, gain 800 life points. She also comes with that same clause, move something out of the graveyard, we're Exes summoning on you. We're running 2 Exosister Sophia. If we control another Exosister monster, we can draw 1 card. And if we control her sister, Irene, we gain 800 life points. And again, she comes with that same Exes clause. Finally, we only have 1 Exosister Irene. I feel like her effect is just a straight up downgrade from Sophia. We can place 1 Exosister from our hand to the bottom of the deck, draw 1 card. Sophia just draws 1 card without having to get rid of an Exosister from our hand, so no thank you, Irene. Then she still comes with that same clause of if our opponent moves a card out of their graveyard, we can special summon 1 Exosister Exes using her as material. Very, very key. Then we've got 3 Sakitama and 3 Aritama. Basically, they're ways to get 2 4s on the board, and if we can get 2 4s on the board, we just Exes summon, making Exosisters, and then we have Exes on the board. So Martha is back live. Do not worry, we don't screw ourselves. Following up the main deck monsters, we have our Exosister Spell, Exosister packs that we're running 3 of. During the main phase, we can pay 800 life points to add an Exosister monster from our deck to our hand, but if we control its sister, we get to special summon it. Very nice card. 2 Exosister Returnia. We only need this at 2 because we can search it. Same thing with the next trap, which we're only running at 1. And if all monsters we control are Exosister monsters, which, like I just mentioned with Aritama and Sakitama, we can Exes them into the Exosister Exes, so we're gonna be fine. We can pay 800 life points and target a monster our opponent controls, banish it, then we can Exes summon using cards on our field, and if we do so, we get to banish another card. 2 banishes? Hell yeah. Finally, we have 1 Exosister Vadis. We can pay 800 life points to choose an Exosister monster from our deck, and special summon it and its sister, but we have to shuffle them into the deck during the end phase, so hopefully we can use something like Returnia and use that effect to Exes summon an Exosister monster and not have to lose those cards at the end of the turn. 4 hand traps, you know, we're already pretty against the graveyard, so why not make our opponent's rage quit the second we use it with 3 Dimension Shifter? And I kid you not, that happened way too many times. Turn 1, activate Dimension Shifter when they make their first action, and they're out of here. We're not playing ranked or anything, so I don't really blame them. I wouldn't want to play under Shifter either, but really annoying card. We have 3 Droll Knockbird, stops their searches, also pretty good card, and 3 Imperm, a hand trap that doesn't have to play into Talents or Thrust. Yes please. And finishing off the deck with some bonus spells, we've got 3 Prod of Prosperity. Hopefully we can use this, dig, and find some nice Exosister monsters if we don't see them in our opening hand. 3 talents, kind of just the same thing. Maybe draw some cards, maybe steal our opponent's monster, maybe look at their hand. it gives us a wide suite of things to do. And one card by the grave. We can only play one, but maybe it saves us from something. To the extra deck, we're going to start off with 3 Exosister Makalis, who cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the grave. So again, even more graveyard hate. And to turn its special summon, we can target a card our opponent controls and banish it. And any turn, we can detach 1 material from this card to add an Exosister spell or trap to our hand, which is why we only need to run 2 and 1 of Returnia and Vadis. We've got 2 Exosister Caspatel, who also cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the graveyard, and the turn she special summoned, we can activate the effect to make it so that neither player can special summon monsters from the grave. Plus, we can detach 1 material from this card to add an Exosister monster from our deck to our hand, extending us even further. We have 1 Exosister Asphoriel. I don't know how to say it. Asphoriel's fine. And she makes it so she cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of monster special summon from the graveyard. A little bit different from the previous 2 cards, but same idea, graveyard bad. And the turn she is special summoned, we can make it so that neither player can activate card effects in their graveyard at all, moving them out, nothing, just no effects. And we can detach 1 material from her to target a monster our opponent controls and return it to our hand. And the last one of Exosister, Exosister Jabreen, who also cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of monster special summon from the grave. And the turn that she is Exi summoned, we can target 1 effect monster our opponent controls and negate its effect until the end of the turn. Also, we can detach 1 material from her, and for the rest of the turn, all Exi monsters we control get 800 attack, making them bigger and bigger. For the last Exosister in the extra deck, we have 2 Exosisters Magnifica, the boss monster of our extra deck, I suppose. Yeah, I don't suppose, she is. And she must be Exi summoned with 2 rank 4 Exi monsters, so a little bit expensive to get into her, but she can make 2 attacks during each battle phase. Then, once per turn, we can detach 1 material from this card to banish a card our opponent controls. And when our opponent activates a card or effect, we can return 1 of the Exi monsters attached to this card to the extra deck, and then special summon that monster from the extra deck using this card as material. So, say we have a Makalis as material for our Magnifica, we can detach the Makalis and then Exi summon the Makalis. So kind of going backwards, but it makes it so that we can activate those on-summon effects on our opponent's turn, helping us dominate them just a little bit more. And finishing off the extra deck, we have 1 Zeus and 1 Typhon, just generic ways to wipe the board from Exi monsters, and 1 Bagustia, a very easily makeable card, only requiring 2 level 4 monsters, and is very helpful. And finishing off, we actually have some Link monsters. We're going to go in reverse from what I have them. 1 Lina, 1 Celine, and 1 access code. Just a way to Link climb, maybe get into an access code to put out lots of damage, and use its effect to destroy some cards our opponent controls. So yeah, that's the deck. Now, let's see some gameplay. So let's jump right into game 1, and we will be going first against a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. They do have draw, so we're going to have to play around that, but other than that, we have drawn really, really well. So, we'll get our turn started with a Dimension Shifter, no more Graveyard, and we'll Prosperity, banish 3, dig for 3, Imperm, Pax, draw. We already have the Pax, so let's grab that Imperm. We'll activate Martha's effect, special summoning her and Ellis. We will Exis into a Caspatel. Then we will chain Pax to Caspatel, getting ourselves a Stella. Then we're going to detach 1 to add a Sophia to our hand. Normal Stella. Stella effect to normal Sophia. We cannot draw, but it's fine. Make Makalis. Makalis, search for our last trap. And we set 3. And should have made Magnifica, but it's fine. It's actually not fine. Our opponent goes Fenrir. And then Super Poly. This is why we should have made Magnifica. Now we're in a little bit of trouble. They make Garura. We can Vadis at the start of the battle phase here. We get our 2 Exosisters, and then we can Returnia, banishing the Fenrir, making Makalis, and we can Makalis step in the end step and get rid of Garura. Okay, now we're back into a good spot, and we draw Pax. Best draw we could have gotten, maybe? I mean, we lose 800, straight up Martha's better. We get rolled again, and go Martha, Ellis, make both Exis into Jabreen, and our opponent surrenders. We draw very, very good that game, and even through the misplay, we just keep making Exis. We stop our opponent's attack, banish, banish, banish. Very, very good game, and getting rid of the graveyard can always help. Now, this game is the biggest fumble I have had in a long while. Quite literally, months, I would say. But it's fine. The draw isn't great. We have 2 shifters, but Aritama and Sakitama will get us into some plays even through this imperm and draw. So we start off with shifter, then we go Aritama, which gets impermed, but it's fine because we have the Sakitama in hand. We can go Sakitama effect to get it on the board. Now we can make Makalis effect, searching a spell or trap. We'll get out Pax effect, and we will add Martha effect, special summoning her and the Ellis. Then we can use these 2 to get into Caspatel to get out Ellis, and we can special summon out Ellis. And I forget to set the imperm, but it should be fine. We also did make Magnifica, but again, it's still okay. Our opponent doesn't do much. All they do is set their field spell, and we can Caspatel, getting Martha. We can't actually activate Martha, and we make Baguska and the Magnifica finally. Where's pause? Big problem here. Do you guys see Baguska? Do you see anything wrong with him? Why is he in attack position? Why did I make this Baguska in attack position? Yeah, he can't be destroyed, but if I put him in defense position, everything's negated. We're big chilling. In attack position, I can actually lose this game. And we attack over the draw, and we get him for 28 twice. Now, our opponent's only on 24, and we have 2 imperms set. We should be a little okay, right? Wrong. He can go for Geoglyph. We Magnifica away the field spell, but now we can't get rid of Magnifica anymore. And when he goes into Geokraken off the Earthbound Fusion, we can imperm it to stay alive for a little bit. But he can attack over Baguska, and now the best that we can do is crash. And we can bring out Sakitama, tribute shifter to add Sakitama back to the hand, but we can't end the game here. This game should have been over. And now it's on the hands of this Earthbound Prison and Earthbound Fusion and Shifter, and he can go into Salapisku. And now we're on a timer. We draw talents. He's not going to activate an effect. His talent doesn't do anything. We make Lina for some reason. Another fumble. I don't know why I did this. I'm just making fumble after fumble. Now, I draw again. We get Martha, but she can't do anything. We can normal her and make Celine, but we only had 1 counter. It's not enough. It's just not enough. We can imperm, survive another turn, but once Celine dies, what are we gonna do? We can draw, and we draw Called by the Grave, and that's game. I hope that he would change a monster effect to that Called by, so I could talents and maybe do something. But he goes into the battle phase and ends it. And that is a historic fumble. All I have to do is put Baguska in defense. If I put Baguska in defense, we win that game. No questions asked, I'd say. And that was terrible. Magnifica, I should have been able to go into Makalis to banish. I did everything wrong that game. But that shows the power of Exosisters if you really think about it, because we should have been able to win that game, but I'm just bad, so we didn't. That one's on me, not on the deck. Exosisters could have pulled it out there. So there you have it, a win and a historic fumble. Exosisters, really not that bad of a deck. They do rely on graveyard manipulation being a big factor. Like Shifter, huge. Like I said, people just straight up surrender off that. And if you can get the little guys to trigger, I know we didn't in those 2 wins, but in matchups where those do trigger, it's GG's. Your opponent is in a terrible spot. And the X-Drag monsters really are flexible. Because of the way Magnifica can bounce back into other cards, you get a lot of play on your opponent's turn. Overall, a fun deck. I'd recommend them. I wouldn't recommend them too highly, but certainly need to try out, and I had a blast using them. And I hope you have a blast with the rest of your day. Have a good one, everyone.